are you explicit with your clients about what you expect from them? So this is something that's really important. And I see advisors failing at this all the time. I mean, what I and my team, what we do is talk to advisors and advice firms all day long, every day of the year. And this is an issue that is almost universal when it comes to how I help them to become far better advisors, how I help them to increase their fees, increase their referability, increase their sources of new clients, their advice firm profitability, their profitability per client, every single of the key important metrics for an advisor and an advice business. And this is one of the main issues. There's quite a few of them, but this is a big one. And that is, I find advisors that are too soft with their clients. And I don't mean being a bully. I mean, they don't actually sit down and say, look, this is the value I provide. This is who I provide it for. This is why I do it, why it fulfills me. And this is what I expect from the people who are my clients. Not only that, you also need to be explicit with individual clients about what you expect from them as well. So I'm not going to go into all of the different types of expectations that I think most advisors should actually mention to their clients, but I'm going to use a couple of examples of ones that I use as an advisor with my clients who are advisors. So one of those is, if we're working on what I call a realignment project, this is a major piece. So we're looking at a client base and we're going to transform the whole thing. How they explain value, how they contextualize, how the relationship status is, the fee levels, the referability rate, the depth of value. Like really, instead of going surface level, transforming the lives of clients, increasing profitability per client, like seriously doing this as a project. And if someone's engaging me to do that, one of the things that I will say to them is, look, this is a major thing. We've identified that in your business, there's a lot that needs to change. And in order to get to where you want to be in your life, this is what we're going to need to do. Now, the good news is that in 12 to 18 months, we're going to more than double your revenue. We'll more than triple your profitability. And in order to accomplish that, not only that, we're going to free up your time so you'll be able to, have more holidays with your family or any of the things that they've explicitly stated they want to change in their life. So in order to do this, I promise that I can help you get there. However, there needs to be a counterbalance to that. So here's what I'm going to expect of you. Family first. So right away, we're going to start making a few changes to get you more engaged with your family because that's what you want to do. Secondly, I expect you to put the work that we're doing together. Second. Third is going to be business as usual. So why am I saying this? Well, it's pretty simple. Business as usual keeps you stuck where you are. That's not going to get you to where you want to be. We need to make some serious changes to how you engage your clients, how you charge them the services that you're providing. And I expect that you're going to take what we do with you incredibly seriously because it will make all of the difference. With my help, you get to where you want to be. Without my help, you don't. But only if you put, number 2, the work that we're doing together. Is that okay that I expect that of you? Now, this doesn't mean that I expect you're going to be spending 90% of your time working on this stuff for us. No, it means that when we need to make appointments to get together, you do it. It means that when I need data on your client base, you get it. And you put emphasis on that because that's what's required to make the change. Is that okay that I expect this of you? Now, I went very specific there, but I think it's better if I use specific examples. And I've coached lots of advisors going through this. It's why when we work with people, we typically talk about individual clients because it's easy to talk about generic stuff, but very specific examples make translation so much better. That is a key expectation I have in that particular scenario. Now, here's a general expectation which I will communicate to anyone that I speak with during my first meeting with them. And that is this. I don't work with people who have a scarcity mentality. I'm trying to make advice better as a whole. I believe that advice is one of the most valuable things in our society. I also believe it's part of the way that business will be reshaped. And I think it's got one of the most fundamentally key spots in the future of our society, whether that's financial advice, accounting, law, all of it. It's so critical. So that's something I'm very passionate about. So here's a request that I have. If I'm going to work with you, then I'm going to be delivering lots of value to you. But I have one requirement. And that is, at some point in time, someone is probably going to pick up the phone, shoot you an email, connect to you on LinkedIn and say, hey, can I please have a chat to you? Baz suggested that I do so. And I'm going to expect that you will make some time to meet with them. Now, I will have taken it very seriously of who I'm connecting to who I'm suggesting speak with you. And all I ask you to do is to be honest with them. Just to communicate what you've been through, what you've experienced, or talk to them about a particular issue. Perhaps they're considering engaging with us. And if they're asking questions about us, all I want you to do is be completely honest with them. What's your experience been like? Perhaps they're going to ask you about, making changes in their business that you've already been through. Talk to them about your experience. So is it okay that I ask that of you? Now, here's the thing. If at any point in time, one of your key expectations that you give to a client, you stop, you wait for an answer. And if the answer is no, guess what? You don't work with them. The first rule of negotiation is you don't negotiate if you're not prepared to walk away. Well, the thing about this business is how definitive you are in the language that you give your clients will determine the value they perceive in the advice that you give. It will determine on how honest they are with you, how deep they go with you, how transformative your advice is, how happy they are to pay fees, how much they will refer you. It's a massive impact. And if you're not prepared for that client to say, well, those terms aren't for me, then you're not being definitive. And it's quite interesting because this is one of the biggest things that limits an advisor's growth in their business. So all of this isn't about being a bully. It's just about being radically honest with people, being explicit. If you're an advisor, a financial advisor, an accountant, then here's one for you. Part of what I do with my clients is to protect them. And mostly I'm protecting them from themselves. I'm protecting them from making bad decisions. I'm protecting them from not doing the small things that over time will add up to give them what they want in life. Now, in order to do that, sometimes I need to be a professional nagger. Sometimes I need to say, hey, look, I really need this from you and I need you to take it seriously. And when I'm being a nagger, I want my clients to understand that I'm doing that for them, not for me. So is it okay for you to have a relationship with someone like that? Is that the kind of relationship that you would like to have with your advisor? Now, that's a really important question, and I suggest you all consider asking it, and that's a very good statement of explicit expectation. So my question for you is, are you being explicit with your clients about your expectations of them? And are you really being direct? And even more so, are you being honest enough with them? Thanks very much. Love to know your thoughts. Cheers.